So I'm going to go ahead and begin. My name is Casey Nguyen. I am a faculty at Moreno Valley College. I teach computer information system, including cybersecurity and computer programming. So I'm here today to present to you ePortfolio, in which we use ePortfolio as part of the guided pathway that we implemented in the last year. And in the last couple of semesters, I started launching a pilot to really document student success and achievement using ePortfolio. And it has been a very great experience working with the students along with iMake Innovation Center to train our students, faculty, and staff on how to use ePortfolio to support student success. So for the ePortfolio component, we evaluated several type of products, and what we found were students favor Google site the most, and it was the easiest to use compared to some of the other product that we implemented. The other option that we also consider is Canvas, which will be presented later with one of the students. So she would share with you on how that portfolio would be created in Canvas. So as part of the CIS courses, I require that the students create ePortfolio at the end of the course to document their success and also their project throughout the course. And in the courses I implemented was discrete structures, computer forensics, Python, Java programming, along with my assembly programming courses. But in the last 2 semesters, I piloted in 5 classes, 3 courses in the fall of 2020, and 2 courses in winter 2021. 142 students completed the ePortfolio requirement. And with that, I provided them with the survey to see how they would feel about ePortfolio, how easy it is to use, what kind of things that they suggest to be implemented for future ePortfolio implementation. And so 83% of the students found ePortfolio useful in the project documentation. 78% of the students found Google site easy to use, and 81% of the student will continue to maintain ePortfolio after the course based on their survey. So I want to share with you some of the ePortfolio that they created. So I had assigned programming projects for them to create ePortfolio related to the project. So one of them is for the living classroom or the garden project that we originally conceived at Moreno Valley College. And as you can see, they added their code, their documentations. Google Sites allow them to link even their GitHub, which allows them to be able to control versions of their applications and their code throughout time. So just show you some of that. So this is one of the student project, and they were able to include images, documentation where they can link it, and then also to be able to add additional component about their profile and so on. And the student, they will be able to share that with you. And so for the first phase of the ePortfolio, we wanted to provide workshops in classes. So we met with faculty and the student at iMake Innovation Center. They launched their portfolio. So they created the training. They were able to provide training to faculty and staff. They did in-class presentations. And in this phase, we wanted to show how different subjects, different areas of different discipline were able to showcase the student achievement. So we had faculty in English, communications, CIS, math, and sciences using ePortfolio. And with that, we document skills development and also education pathway throughout. And we wanted to tie in multiple discipline, and we wanted to show that ePortfolio can be used in all discipline, not just in the CTE area. And so with this, I, as a faculty, I reach out to multiple discipline faculty, so that way we collaborate on how we would be able to incorporate ePortfolio in our class, on how students should be developing ePortfolio and what kind of projects we wanted to work across in that collaboration. We created training that would be tied to the onboarding process and peer mentoring that will be coordinated through the STEM Center, and then to be able to really align the ePortfolio with the student education plan. We are in the process of training counselors and additional staff on how to be able to support student with ePortfolio. And in the implementation process, we found some of the areas that we want to recommend. We feel that the introduction to the tool earlier on in the student pathway would be helpful. And we wanted to be able to share the some of the tips with you today, so that way in the case if you wanted to implement the ePortfolio, you can. With that, we also found that providing resources and tool direction and training, making training on demand is going to be important, along with having classroom visits and things like that to be able to help students moving forward with the ePortfolio project. And also to really collaborate with everyone in all the discipline to use the ePortfolio to showcase student effort in all discipline instead of just the area of technical education or the skill-based area. And we want to engage the student in periodic ePortfolio activities. So that means that we might have workshops, sessions, competitions, things like that that would help student engage with the ePortfolio activity. And it's important to really explain the end goal of the ePortfolio to really address career and the skills objectives that the student can highlight to showcase their skills that they have gained throughout their time, throughout the pathway at the college. And I feel that students should be able to provide feedback on the learning curve with the tools that is selected by the college and the resources. So in this, what we have is we have across the board resources and tools that will be equitable to all students. And we wanted to make sure that it's diverse type of portfolio, so that way student can showcase all their skills throughout their studies at the college. And that concludes my presentation. Next, you're going to hear from students on how they created their ePortfolio.
Okay, hi everyone. Anna and I are student employees at the Moreno Valley College, specifically at the IMEC Innovation Center, and we just wanted to present on a little bit more of our student and portfolio development. So first, we want to talk about why an ePortfolio. What is the purpose of an ePortfolio? Why are we pushing for students to create one? And so just from the beginning, an ePortfolio is a student-created and driven project with the intention to showcase or document skills, talents, and abilities of each student. So we know that every student has their own unique qualities and skills that they would like to showcase. And an ePortfolio is a great way to do that, while also kind of reminding themselves of the skills and just the things that they've picked up along their career pathway or their academic pathway. Our focus is on the abilities of each student in alignment with transfer and labor market. So for those who are trying to transfer to a four-year college or grad school, or transferring into the labor market and getting jobs with applications, resumes, cover letters, and things like that. Our main purpose is to help them understand the importance of thinking forward, creating an inventory or repository of their best works, projects that they're proud of, and just showcasing those skills. Our student approach, again, is focusing on introducing them to a mentality of forward moving. So that's progress and advancement, especially for students onboarding from high school, but also transfer students from other schools, as well as continuing students who may not have been able to get the chance to create an e-portfolio when they first came in. And then this portfolio can again be used as they move forward into the labor workforce. So what are the benefits of an e-portfolio? Documenting and keeping track of various achievements, academically, volunteer and work experience. So it's kind of like an online resume, but with a little more depth. You can go in depth and talk about your passion behind your project, why you were doing it, what was your inspiration behind it, and a little more personal pieces that involve what you went through creating the project, but then also skill competencies. So in relation to what Dr. Casey was talking about with her students, throughout their course, they're learning different skills, learning how to code, creating different programs. So they can also talk about the skills they've picked up on while creating that project, and then they're able to showcase that final project or that final result. And so this can relay capabilities to faculty, teachers, and future employers. The website can be added to resumes for applications. I've seen them on cover letters. I've seen them on, again, resumes, school applications. They're really applicable in any professional or corporate world as well. And again, it's to showcase your strengths and advancements in specific areas. So you definitely get to choose and kind of hone in on which skills you think you're best at, and then kind of highlight that in your ePortfolio. So now we'll be talking about methods and mediums for creating an ePortfolio. We kind of focus more on Google Sites and Canvas, more so Google, just because it's a universal medium. I believe Canvas is specific to those who have an account on Canvas. And while a lot of community colleges and students do have accounts, when they move out of maybe community colleges and move into universities or the professional world, they can then implement those ePortfolio ideas into their Google sites. So we kind of focus more on the Google portion. And Anna, my colleague, will be talking about that.
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about steps on creating your Google Sites. So step one is getting on Google Sites. So the reason why we mainly focus on Google Sites, because Google is like NK said, it's a universal web browser that you can access through any OS that you're on. So whether it's Safari or Internet Explorer or Chrome, you can still access Google Sites. So once you get on Google, then you can go to your upper right corner, which is displayed on the screen, where you can see those 9 little dots of box shape. Then after, you can locate sites where you can go and start your ePortfolio. Next, please. So here is another demonstration on where you can go. So you can either begin by opening Google Sites on your browser of your choice, and you'll need a Google account to do this. Next, please. So step 2 is in Google Sites, the app. Once you're in the Sites app, you can locate different templates to get you started. So select the template that which best fits you, or pick a blank template to start from scratch. So personally, I went with more of a template that reflects my personality, and when employers or schools or whatever you're trying to present through your ePortfolio, you want to choose something that will reflect who you are. So as you are presenting or sending it to different companies, different people, they'll know, oh, okay, this is Anna from her ePortfolio. Next, please. So here is also another way. You can see where the arrows circling. It says select the plus button on the bottom right of the screen to open your new unpublished site. So step 3, what can we do? So begin to create a look for our ePortfolio. This is a way for viewers to get to know how creative you are and what style you have. So make your ePortfolio according to your liking, so that other people can see, wow, you're so creative, or what style you have. So the insert tabs, you can use those tabs to create text boxes, or upload and add images, or choose different layouts, or insert various contents like your table of contents, buttons with your URLs, or documents, or slides, or video content. So here you can, when Dr. Casey was talking about her students' stuff, she showed like different documents and different pictures where they have used the insert tabs to add on. So like when it comes to videos, we have found out that you actually have to upload your video to YouTube in order for it to work on the site, because we usually put it on our Google Drive, but when others are opening it, it will say like it's blocked because it's your personal file. However, if you upload it to to YouTube, then it will be easier to access. Next, please. So the page tab. In the page, in the page tab is where we can add and create new pages that you can browse through when viewing your ePortfolio. Adding pages, you have to locate the page tab on the upper right corner where it says pages, and then you click on the icon on the bottom right, which is the plus, to add a new title page. And by using this, you utilize the insert tab. So pages tabs on my ePortfolio, I use pages tab to like distinguish like what am I showing. So in my ePortfolio, I had a schoolwork page tab and an iMakerspace page tab. So under schoolworks, I have different tabs under it, which shows like what classes I've taken or what I want to present through me as being a student. And for my iMakerspace page tab, I showed my different projects and what I have worked on in the iMakerspace. So having page tab helps you to separate like different categories that you want to present on your ePortfolio. Next, please. So adding additional pages. To add new pages to your site, you have to navigate to the page tabs in the right-hand menu and click the plus button, which the arrow circling, to add your new page. Next, please. So step 5 is the themes tab. So this is more where you play around and see which theme like really best fits you. So in the themes tab is where we can change the themes for individual pages according to your liking. So the themes tab, in order to locate the themes tab, you have to find the themes to locate the themes tab. Then after you locate it, it'll give you different themes, which is simple, Aristotle, diplomat, vision, level, and impression. So you can choose whatever best fits your liking and whatever you want to present through your ePortfolio. Next, please. So this is also another way how you can browse the themes and widgets in the menu on the right hand side of the screen. This will be the tools you'll be utilizing to build your ePortfolio. Next, please. And then here's also another way. It says you can click and drag your widgets to your screen until you're satisfied with the layout of the page. Step 6. So this is the part where you're done with your ePortfolio. You have added everything you wanted to add, and it's now time to upload your ePortfolio. So once you're complete, add a site document name at the top left corner. So on my ePortfolio, I just went in simple and said Anna's ePortfolio to show others what your theme is. Or you can say Anna's project, or like Dr. Casey, she showed one of her students where it says, I think garden house or something like that. I'm so sorry, I don't remember. But once you're complete, then you can scan through your whole ePortfolio to see and make sure it's according to your liking. So when making an ePortfolio, we have mentioned from the top to the bottom, which it says like everything has to be according to your liking. And you have to check the grammar, make sure that everything is right. And then when you're done, then you can locate the publish, but the icon right here where you can upload it. And once you publish it, that's how others will view your ePortfolio. But don't worry, because after you publish it, you can always unpublish it to change whatever you have missed. And now I'll pass it to NK, and she'll discuss the Canvas portion of ePortfolio.
Yes, so as mentioned previously, we did focus on Google Sites, but we did create an alternative PDF for those students who want to start on the Canvas medium. And so we walk through logging into your Canvas account using your student email and password. Here I have screenshots of the 3 community colleges of the RCC district. And then I walk through going to the ePortfolio link, creating an ePortfolio, opening up your portfolio so that you can use your documents from where you've submitted them. And that's one thing that's cool about Canvas that Google Sites doesn't necessarily connect with, where because Canvas is connected to your student account or to a student's account, and that's where normally projects and assignments are turned in to their professors, Canvas creates your own inventory or repository of all of the projects you've turned in. When you submit an assignment through Canvas, it saves to your files. And so when you create an ePortfolio, you can actually link your files straight from your account into your ePortfolio. So that's a great way to save all of your projects without actually having to create a drive for that. And I think that's really cool, because if you're doing an ePortfolio that's tailored to a specific course, you can navigate to your files, and it's automatically organized by the courses you've taken. And so you can click on the course you want, find the file or the project that you saved or submitted in the past, and link that directly into your ePortfolio. And we've actually put step-by-step here where you can organize your ePortfolio by sections and by courses. And then once you've created a section, you can customize that section by individual pages. So say you have, for example, Dr. Casey's programming course, or just you have maybe a ePortfolio about programming in general. Maybe you have a page or a section for C++, and then you have another one for Maya. And then within those pages, you can create sections for, say, the garden project that she was showcasing earlier, and all the other projects for that specific programming coding. Then maybe you learned another programming language, you can create a separate page for that and link all your projects there. So I think that's really cool as a Canvas feature. You can also link pictures and videos, though it is a little bit lagging when it comes to navigating through pages. It's still a great way to showcase your images. So for those students who might be maybe veer away from STEM and are more accustomed to art and digital media, that's a great way to showcase your art, your pictures, your videos, visual projects. You can also link those here. And then in the same way that you can publish your Google Sites account, you can also make your Canvas ePortfolio public or private. If you need to change anything, you can switch it right back to private, make your changes, and then switch it back to public. And so that's another great way to start. For those who maybe don't want a full fleshed out ePortfolio on the Google Sites, you can start in small steps on Canvas. And then we want to talk a little bit about how it started. So as Dr. Casey already explained earlier, she did task a few of us with creating ePortfolios that we were able to present at a couple of the Guided Pathways bi-weekly meetings. And so this is Anna's here and mine on the right. We took a little bit of time to kind of customize ours. And as you can see, there are different ways you can tailor your features, your layout. Anna had tabs here according to her schoolwork. I organized mine under the Home tab, so you can create tabs and then tabs within your tab. And so for mine, I have my Home tab, and I did my undergrad work at another school, so I have both my MVC work and my undergrad work in different pages. And then you can even use this to kind of customize, as Anna said, to your personality. So if you want people to get a feel of who you are beyond your academic work or beyond your professional work, you can even customize a little bit of your creative side, your artistic side, which we've also included in our site. And so I think it was a really cool project for us to be able to do and then share with other faculties, instructors, and teachers at NBC. We've done a workshop or kind of like an office hour for a guidance class where we tried to help some of the students tailor their ePortfolios to their specialties and their specific skills. And for future implications, we're hoping that we can discuss the potential for academic trainings and solid workshops to use for ongoing programs for students so that they can attend regularly, whether they're incoming students, current students, or future students. And so that's, I believe, the end of our presentation. And we just want to thank you for the time to share this with you all.
Thank you, NK. I just wanted to expand a little bit on some of the additional things we're going to be doing in the upcoming year. So we are working with our CTE placement coordinator to focus in on our fall career services workshops. We're going to be co-hosting and facilitating with our Makerspace staff and student employees and the CTE employment placement coordinator lunch and learn workshops. In addition to that, we're setting up through our 6 engagement centers training on ePortfolio development for the peer mentors. So as they provide support to students in each of the different college school engagement centers that will be applicable. We're also going to be working with our career center and creating a video tutorial to host within the career site for resources for ePortfolio development. And our school does twice a year in the fall. They do a 3-day faculty flex day. So we'll be presenting as well during the faculty flex day, and that'll be available to all faculty and staff. And then the final thing we're looking forward to implementing is a collaboration with our distance education, our DE Den. And so there's a lot of faculty, of course, that have shifted to the online learning environment, and that will likely continue into the fall with more faculty teaching online and also with a return to campus as well. So we're just going to be implementing that, working with our counseling departments as they do continue to do the student ed plans, and additionally within the guided pathways framework, particularly for Pillar 4. So I'll let Abraham talk a little bit about anything else he wanted to share. I know he led some of the student employees that are here, Anna and NK, for a winter term guidance class. And so maybe he can talk a little bit about that and wrap that up before we go to our Q&A.
Yeah, so we just work with students to help them tailor their ePortfolio. So depending on their major and the amount of work they've done, they've had to restructure things, and we give them like best practices, because this is like a living, breathing resume where they can showcase all of their work. So STEM students like NK and Anna would have different things to display on their portfolio than an art major. So an art major was a lot more visual, whereas for the STEM students, they'll publish their papers on there, their essays. So really we just worked with students to kind of create different varieties of portfolios to create samples so that other students can view them and see what best practices are for each different major or project that they're working on. And so I think we can move into the Q&A.
Thank you, Abraham. So if there's any questions from the audience, we'd be glad to take them. If you want to talk or type it in the chat, we can respond to that. But we are excited to be implementing this Guided Pathways ePortfolio framework and look forward to the next year to continue to enhance it. And you can type it in the chat if you want to. Okay, we actually have, I see a question from Jake. Do you have any feedback from students who have used this with an employer? We actually do. She's not here today. She's actually one of our former Makerspace student employees. We actually have 14 current student employees. A couple of them actually have transferred on and left us, which is a good thing, going to a four-year university. And this student actually recently left because of opportunities through her portfolio she had created, her custom portfolio, and that helped her land another job. And so her focus is kind of on the biopsychology field. So she actually is working now with a nonprofit, like mental health counseling, kind of dealing with the psych and the bio aspect there. So we have received some initial feedback from some of the students, and we will continue to implement that, and also be working with our counselors, likely to implement some additional surveying for the classes, as Casey has done for additional courses that implement ePortfolio development throughout the classes.
And to add with what Jason was saying, we have some student in the apprenticeship program building out their portfolio with IT certifications and things like that. And we have been using that, and I know that there's a state incentive with Workday, which is the new application that they will tie with apprenticeship program. Moreno Valley College got approved for 2 IT apprenticeship program that focuses in IT support and in the area of cybersecurity. So these students, they can incorporate their portfolio from the Google site with the Workday, but I had sent out some link to employers, as I am a faculty for the apprenticeship program, and employers have been really giving us the positive feedback on how students are maintaining their ePortfolio for the apprenticeship program. So, and I encourage them to continue to document it as they go through the phases of the work in the apprenticeship program.
I know that, just answering the question there, some of our student employees and students that have gone through the ePortfolio workshop have linked their LinkedIn to their pages, and other websites where they have been, like newsletters and things like that, where they have gotten recognition for their work, they link it on their ePortfolio page. So that it's like a one-stop shop, so that if someone comes onto your ePortfolio, they can see all your work, they can see links to your LinkedIn, they can also see links to articles where they have been mentioned.
And yeah, and we just recently purchased, I believe, a collaborative effort, maybe Casey could talk more about this too, but the job speaker program. And so, so I believe there'll be some ways, we're getting some initial training on it with our employment placement coordinator and some of our staff. And so I believe there's going to be ways to integrate the ePortfolios into that as well, that can match up with employers for jobs directly.
Yes, so with the tool that our apprenticeship program is using, they're using several tools, so it's able to link across the board. But on the ePortfolio itself, a student can create buttons or tabs that would link to their external resources, especially their LinkedIn profile. And then from LinkedIn, if that student access LinkedIn, they can also drop a link for their ePortfolio, vice versa. So you do see versatility in, you know, the way that we would digitally network and tie everything together. And that allows the student to be more flexible in whether they're seeking work via LinkedIn, or they're just seeking work in general using different, you know, work and job searching engine, or even using you know, some of the tools that we're implementing for apprenticeship program, for internship program, etc.
Wonderful. Do we have any other questions from our audience members?
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Suni. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you attending our breakout session today. Thank you, Jake. Thanks, Deanna.
You're welcome. Great job. It's always amazing to see our students present.
Correct. Thank you,
did
Ty.
such a great job. Thank you.